I'm also going to try to give you little things to remember these rules by versus just saying what they are. I realized that I'd probably be more helpful. Anyways, my next little section or my little category is society and social structures. So, sort of similar to the last unit, but different enough to where a lot of terms are in this category and don't apply to the last category. Okay. Cannot figure out how to not drop this damn microphone. Versus assimilate, and that means to absorb into a dominant culture. So assimilating. Um, okay. So assimilate, that means to, I don't know, it's just to absorb into a dominant culture. You're assimilated into something, you are being absorbed into something. So yeah. Barbarism. So think like barbarian. Oh wait, yeah. Which is an uncivilized state or behavior. So there's a connotation to that, and that feels like there's a denotation to that word, barbarism, but all it means is uncivilized state or behavior. What that means is in the eye of the beholder. Communal is just anything shared amongst a community. That's kind of self-explanatory. Concubine is a secondary wife or just like a mistress. It's like an old-time word for saying mistress. Cosmopolitan means familiar with many cultures. I'm not sure if it's a person that or it's an adjective. It just means familiar with many cultures. Dissent, like we heard a lot in the last unit, the last AP government, means holding opinions that are the opposite of the majority. So you are in the minority and you have like unorthodox opinions basically compared to everyone else. A dissident is a person who is or does oppose official policy from government or just official policy. Egalitarian just is a person or an idea of believing in total equality, just complete equality amongst everything. Elite just means a high status social group or just high status. Yeah, elite, everyone kind of knows what that means. Ethnocentric, which means evaluating cultures by one's own standards. This is predominantly seen when the Europeans were coming to America and they were deeming Native Americans as savages or barbarians because they were using their own moral and cultural standards to evaluate other people's cultures. Gentry is a high social class below nobility, so it's like a high social class that's not a ruler or a monarch. Genocide is the deliberate killing of an ethnic group, and I don't know how much this I can say on YouTube. I don't have that many subscribers though, so I don't think it'll be a problem, but I know they like to ban things, certain words, so I don't know. Hierarchy is just like a system ranking by system ranking people by status. So this is prominently seen in Hinduism in India. They will have a hierarchy of different. They believe in reincarnation, so they think there's certain tiers as to how you should be treated in society and how you should live in society. So hierarchy is just ranking people based off class. Hominids are human ancestors and modern humans. So I'm pretty sure that's just like our ancestors that aren't quite Homo sapiens, but because they're just, I don't know, they're hominids. Homogeneous means alike in nature or kind. If you took bio last year, you're familiar with this term. Indigenous, like I was previously stating, just means native to a place, whether that's people or plants or animals. Lineage is direct descent from an ancestor. So you have lineage to whoever your great grandma was or your ancestors. So it's just like your relation, like your family line, essentially. Marital. Oh god. Marital is just relating to marriage, anything relating to marriage. Patriarchal is male dominated social system. So it's just like a social system or government where men are treated higher than women. Patrilineal, tracing descent through father's line. So it's your lineage on your father's side, basically. Polygamy is having multiple spouses simultaneously. Different cultures believe that men should have multiple wives. This is such as Mormonism. That's an example of this. Serf, SERF, laborer bound to a lord's land. So, I don't know. Does that mean just like how slaves were? A laborer bound to a lord's land. Maybe someone that kind of like a person who rents to a landlord. I'm not sure what that means, but it's a laborer bound to a lord's land. Stratification is classification into social classes. So it's kind of like a hierarchy, but it's like the act of placing individuals into a hierarchy. Last one is subordinate, like subordinating conjunctions. That means a lower rank or position. Yeah. So that was that? Society and social structures. Next, we have culture, religion, and ideology. First, we have aesthetic, which we all know the word aesthetic. Principles guiding artistic taste. So it's like your principles and moral values that dictate what your taste is, whether it's music, art, literature, food. Yeah. Animism, which is the belief that nature has spirits. I believe Taoism does believe this. I'm gonna stop making assumptions in case I offend anyone. So I'm gonna stop with that. Asceticism, severe self-discipline and self-denial. This is like people in medieval Europe punishing themselves using the basis of like the Catholic beliefs. It's just severe self-discipline and self-denial. So it's like keeping yourself in a very tight ship, based off, I'm assuming, your religion usually. Classical is relating to ancient Greek, Roman, or Chinese peaks. Epics. Speaking of epics, I'm seeing the Odyssey tonight in theaters because I read it and I loved the book so much. The Odyssey. The Odyssey is an epic, which is a long poem about heroic deeds. I'm so excited for the movie. 3-hour movie. It's gonna be great. Next is ideology, or a system of economic/political ideas. Again, if you watched any of my later videos last year for AP Gov, you know damn well what ideology is. Linguistic is relating to language study. Like linguistic. Manifest, clear or obvious. I feel as though that's not what that means, but we're gonna come back to that one. Monotheism is a belief in one god, while polytheism is a belief in multiple gods. So you have Christianity versus Greek gods in Greek mythology. We got mystical, which is seeking direct spiritual connection. Neo, this is a prefix. I don't remember, where did I see it? Oh, we're gonna stop right there. It's a prefix. You may have heard it in front of certain words, but it means new or revived form. Got it. Okay. Next one. Pantheon. is all gods of a religion. I don't really know what that means because I believe in monotheism, but all gods of a religion. So I'm assuming if you believe in something that has multiple gods, that just kind of is a way to group them all together and describe them as your gods that you believe in. Papal slash papacy. Anything relating to the Pope. I've never heard, that's very specific. I've never heard something be referred in that way before, but I guess it's if you want to refer to something the Pope does, I'm not really sure. Pharaoh is the ruler of ancient Egypt. Piety slash pious is deeply religious or devout. So if you're super religious, pious, that's proselytize. Proselytize, which means attempting to convert someone's faith. So colonists going to Africa, trying to convert the Africans there to Christianity, that kind of thing. Proselytes. I can't pronounce that. Rhetoric slash rhetorical is the art of persuasive speaking or writing. That's kind of been like the ELA subject for the past 3 years since like 7th grade. Sharia is Islamic canonical. So it's like the Islamic law system where they base their laws off of religion. So it's the Sharia law is the religion based laws. Sinification is the spread of Chinese culture. Here's the thing. Here's my problem. Like these terms, I'm not gonna remember. Maybe I will, but they're so specific to one certain thing. I'm like, dang, I'm not gonna remember these. Syncretism is blending different religious beliefs. So you're just like merging multiple really beliefs. I'm assuming this happens over a long period of time. They just like happen to naturally merge. Not quite sure. Maybe. Okay, we're on to topic 4, which is economics, geography, and technology.